Have you ever looked in the mirror and quietly wondered, is this haircut making me look older? If you've crossed the age of 50, I believe you've had a moment like that, unspoken but lingering. A moment where your hair didn't feel like it reflected who you are today. But that's not because you're no longer beautiful. It's because your beauty has evolved. It no longer lies in the length of your hair or the number of candles on your cake. It lies in the depth of your experience, the calm in your gaze, and the quiet grace of a woman who has walked through many seasons. And, for that very reason, your hair shouldn't make you feel disconnected from your own image. It should help you show up true to the elegance, the strength, and the story you carry now. In today's video, I won't be telling you how to look young again. I'm not here to chase trends. Instead, I want to walk you through 6 timeless haircut styles that never go out of fashion because they're not about changing who you are. They're about helping you return to yourself in a way that's more radiant, more confident, and entirely your own. And if there's one haircut that might make people pause a moment longer when they look at you, one that doesn't scream for attention but gently commands it, then that's where we'll begin. Let's start with the most classic, elegant, and effortlessly right style for every season of life. The classic bob. 1. The classic bob, elegance without effort. There's a haircut that has stood the test of time. It's appeared in black and white films, on the faces of old Hollywood stars, and quietly in kitchens where women who have spent decades caring for others stand gracefully, often forgetting to care for themselves. That haircut is bob. A style so simple, yet so perfectly defined by understated elegance. You may have thought, the bob is for young women, those with oval faces, thick hair, red lips, and all the time in the world to style it. But today, I invite you to see it differently. Because the truth is, women over 50 are the ones who bring bob to life. This isn't a haircut meant to grab attention. It's a haircut that makes people pause to really see your face. A chin-length or shoulder-grazing bob is short enough to feel polished, yet long enough to feel soft, feminine, and effortless. Not too young, not too severe. Just right like you are, right now. And if your hair has started to thin, flatten, or resist styling, the bob might be the quiet companion you didn't know you needed. With the right cut, your hair will naturally fall into shape. No rollers, no curling irons. Just a few gentle strokes of the brush and suddenly your face feels more defined, your eyes have a frame, and your presence starts to speak without words. And if you've embraced your natural gray, bob will surprise you. Instead of hiding those silvery strands, it lets them shine, turning them into the brightest detail of your entire look. A clean, thoughtful cut paired with silver tones becomes a gentle declaration, I'm not hiding from time. I'm living with it, and I'm more beautiful because of it. Now, maybe you're still hesitant. What if it doesn't suit me? What if my jawline isn't sharp, or my neck isn't long? That's exactly the point. The bob isn't designed for perfect faces. It's made for real ones. Faces that have laughed deeply, cried honestly, and looked at the world through both eyes and heart. It's your story that gives this haircut its depth. You don't need perfection, only a clear sense of self. And bob reflects that in the most subtle and powerful way. Imagine this, a crisp autumn morning. You step outside, no clips, no buns, no hiding behind heavy layers. Just your face, your hair, and a steady walk. You're not trying to stand out, but somehow, people still turn to look. Because confidence like that is rare. And if you feel like you've been stuck in a style that no longer reflects the woman you've become, this might be where the shift begins. You don't need a full transformation. Sometimes, all it takes is one intentional cut to change how others see you, and more importantly, how you see yourself. Of course, someone might say, bob is too plain, but maybe it's time to ask yourself, how long has it been since I let myself be simple and absolutely captivating? And if you're still longing for just a little more length, something easy to tie back, or to soften the edges, or simply to keep some playfulness, then the next cut might be exactly what you're waiting for, the long bob or lob. A seamless blend of elegance and freedom. Are you ready? Because the lob isn't just a longer bob, it's a wider canvas for you to rediscover your beauty on your own terms. 2. The long bob, lob. Youthful, versatile, and elegantly relaxed. You love the neat, timeless look of a bob, but maybe, just maybe, there's a part of you that still misses a little extra length. Something to tuck gently behind your ear. Something to let drape softly over your shoulders when you want to feel just a bit more romantic. If that sounds like you, then the next cut might be exactly what you've been waiting for. The long bob, often called the lob, is like that perfectly tailored silk dress, never loud, never demanding attention, but always quietly stunning. For women over 50, it's one of the most balanced choices you can make, short enough to keep your look fresh and polished, yet long enough to preserve that soft, graceful presence. What makes the lob special isn't the cut itself, it's the way it adapts to you. On days when you need structure and sharpness, wear it straight with a side part, and it instantly speaks of poise and confidence. On slow afternoons at the market, or catching up with an old friend, tie half of it up and let a few strands fall loosely around your face. And when the night calls for a bit of sparkle, all it takes is a soft curl at the ends, and your lob transforms into something voluminous, elegant, and effortlessly graceful. No heavy styling. No high-maintenance tricks, just a little movement, and the lob mirrors the very essence of who you are. If your hair has thinned or lost its volume over time, this cut might be the best thing you try this year. When cut to just the right length, brushing the shoulders, it adds weight exactly where your hair needs it most. One subtle bend, one touch of a wave, and your hair will instantly look twice as full. No mousse, no teasing, no faking. But maybe the reason so many women over 50 fall in love with the lob isn't because it's beautiful, but because it's freeing. Free to shift from a busy workday to an elegant dinner with ease. Free to hold on to a bit of length when you're not quite ready to go short. Free to keep the femininity of longer hair without the weight that used to come with it. And if you're in between, the season where your color is slowly transitioning from dyed tones to natural silver, the lob is an ideal companion. The length allows gray strands to blend gracefully, catching light like sun-dappled water, soft and radiant without needing to be covered. You see, some haircuts require you to explain yourself. But the lob speaks for you. It says without a word that you've entered a new chapter 1 that's calmer, softer, and freer than anything before. It's not about making you look younger. It's about making you feel alive again, in your own way. And if you find yourself standing at a turning point, not quite ready to chop it all off, but no longer wanting to cling to a style that doesn't reflect you anymore, the lob is that perfect bridge. You don't have to choose between youthful and wise. With the lob, you get to be both. But if something inside you is craving more, a total shift, a bold statement, a clean start, then what's coming next might surprise you. Because the next haircut isn't just a style. It's a statement, a quiet declaration that says, I don't need long hair to prove anything. And that's why we're moving forward to a haircut for the bold, the unbothered, the fully liberated, the pixie cut. Short, strong, and unapologetically you. 3. The pixie cut. Bold, minimal, and full of character. There's a haircut that doesn't need makeup, doesn't need accessories, doesn't need anyone's nod of approval. The pixie cut is the softest statement you'll ever make, and perhaps the strongest one too. It says, I'm here, and I don't need to hide. To many, cutting your hair short feels like a bold leap. But for women over 50, the pixie isn't about taking a risk. It's about coming home, coming back to yourself stripped of layers, distractions, and compromises. No more tying your hair up in the heat. No more hours with blow dryers, round brushes, or styling products that leave your hair dry and lifeless. With a pixie, all it takes is a dab of styling wax, a sweep of the hand, and you're done. Not because you're lazy, but because you've chosen simplicity. You've chosen to save your time for joy, freedom, and for you. What's even better? The pixie doesn't take away your femininity, it simply moves it to where it belongs. In your eyes, in your cheekbones, in that quiet, unpainted smile. With nothing covering your face, people start to see the real you. And in that clarity, they find something striking. The pixie is especially ideal for thinning hair. Once you remove the heavy bulk at the bottom, your roots lift naturally, giving your entire look a lightness, a freshness, and a vitality that feels completely effortless. No teasing, no tricks. Just the right length, and the pixie speaks for itself. And if you've gone gray, imagine this: a sleek silver pixie cut catching the morning light, each strand shimmering like soft metal, glowing with quiet strength. There's no way anyone would call that old. That's not aging. That's refinement in its purest form. This is the ultimate expression of clarity when you no longer need to cover anything. When your hair isn't trying to convince others, it's simply affirming you. The pixie isn't for women who want to disappear in a crowd. It's for those who know true allure has nothing to do with hair length. It's in the way you step outside, not to please the world, but to show up as yourself. Sure, you might hear the whispers, "Why so short?" Or, "Aren't you afraid it'll make you look older?" But you'll know the answer. I didn't cut my hair to be allowed to feel beautiful. I cut it because I know exactly where my beauty lives. The pixie isn't for everyone, but for those bold enough to try it, becomes more than a haircut. It becomes a feeling of clarity, lightness, and total freedom when you stop trying to be someone else and simply become fully, unapologetically you. And if you feel ready or even just curious, that might be your sign. But if your heart still leans toward softness, flowing movement, and just a touch more gentle femininity, don't worry. The next style is for you. It's a haircut that breathes life into fine hair. One that's not too short, not too long, but always full of energy. And, most of all, it's a style that lights up your face, lifts your spirit, and makes you look fresher without even trying. Let's move into the next chapter, where soft layers awaken the kind of femininity that's subtle, natural, and deeply captivating. Soft layers, where feminine grace comes back to life. 4. Side-swept bangs, effortlessly fresh, elegantly undone. Have you ever noticed how some women walk into a room, not because they're dressed loudly or wearing bold makeup, but still somehow they light up the space? It's not that they look younger. It's that they've learned the art of refreshing themselves, gently, gracefully, and without trying too hard. Side-swept bangs are one of those quiet secrets. A little detail that doesn't shout, but completely changes the feeling of your face. Just a soft part at the forehead, a wisp of hair falling slightly to one side, and suddenly your face softens. Your presence warms. You feel approachable yet still composed, youthful but never forced. Side-swept bangs don't hide your age. They shift the focus to what really matters: your eyes, your cheekbones, the gentle slope of your nose, and that smile that doesn't need lipstick to glow. They don't make you look young again. They simply make you look alive again, cleverly, subtly, beautifully. Unlike blunt bangs, which often demand regular trims and sometimes create a too perfect, rigid line, side-swept bangs are forgiving, flexible, grown up in the best way. They grow out gracefully. They can be brushed aside on rushed mornings, or tucked behind your ear when you want your face open and clear. Easy to grow, easy to adjust, and most of all, easy to love. And if you wear glasses, side-swept bangs are your best friend. While blunt fringe can feel heavy or awkward with frames, side bangs naturally contour around your glasses, creating a balanced, intelligent, and softly radiant frame for your features. They don't fight the frames, they flatter them. Even better, side-swept bangs pair beautifully with nearly every haircut we've talked about. With the classic bob, they add just the right movement. With the lob, they highlight your eyes and cheekbones. With soft layers, they blend in seamlessly, flowing naturally without standing apart. And even with a pixie cut, a soft feathered bang swept gently to the side brings in just enough femininity to balance the boldness without losing that sharp edge. Sometimes you don't need a whole new haircut to feel like a new version of yourself. Sometimes just a few strands of hair brushed gently across your forehead are enough to wake your reflection back up, to make your gaze feel lighter, your smile softer, your energy refreshed. Side-swept bangs won't promise to turn you into someone else. What they will do is guide you quietly back to a version of yourself that's more refined, more radiant, and unmistakably you. And now, if you've felt the softness in something as simple as a bang, let's take one final step to a style where elegance meets ease and grace doesn't require effort: The low bun a hairstyle for the days when you don't want to try, but still want to shine. 5. The low bun. Elegant, timeless, and never tired. There are days when you don't have time to style your hair. When you don't have the energy to fuss, but you still want to show up looking composed, graceful, and put together. On those days, the low bun is your quiet, dependable companion. No curling irons, no hairspray, no salon appointments. Just one slow, simple gesture. Gather your hair gently toward the nape of your neck. Twist it softly into a bun. Secure it with a plain hair tie. Then, ease a few strands loose near your temples or let a soft wisp fall over your cheekbone. And suddenly, you've created a look that feels polished and refined without trying. The low bun brightens the face because by pulling the hair away, it opens up your features. At the same time, it highlights the neck, a part of the body that becomes even more graceful with age. And if you're wearing a delicate pair of pearl earrings or a soft silk scarf wrapped loosely at the collar, the elegance is complete. Subtle, yet unmistakably elevated. What's truly beautiful about the low bun is that it never goes out of style. You'll find it at elegant dinners, morning walks in the park, at your desk in the office, or even while stirring soup in your kitchen on a quiet afternoon. It's one of those rare styles that fits every space, every moment, and every version of your day. And if your hair is already silver-streaked, the low bun becomes even more captivating. On gray hair, the low bun evokes something deeply classic like a black and white portrait. It doesn't rely on color to be striking. Its beauty is in the depth, the grace, the timelessness. It's not old, it's iconic. Because the truth is, you don't need to do more to look beautiful. You just need to do what's right and what feels true. The low bun doesn't beg for attention. And maybe that's exactly why people can't look away. If you've ever believed that buns were for older women, then maybe you've never tried pulling your hair back low, securing it with a simple clip, and catching your own reflection in the morning light. You might be surprised to find that your calm, elegant self is still right there. She's just been waiting for space to reappear. And after exploring all the hairstyles we've shared in this journey, perhaps what you've really discovered isn't just a new haircut. It's a feeling. I'm still beautiful in my own way. So let's close this journey with a gentle reminder that settles deep into the heart. Beauty has no expiration date. And when you choose to show up in a way that feels honest, graceful, and true to who you are, your hair doesn't just frame your face. It tells your story. 6. Soft layers, natural movement, gentle grace, and the return of you. Have you ever looked in the mirror and felt like your hair had simply stopped moving? No more lift, no more bounce. Just flat, lifeless strands that seem to quietly confirm your greatest fear. Maybe I'm fading. Not because you've changed too much, but because your hair, like a mirror of your emotions, is quietly asking to feel alive again. That's where soft layers come in. Not as a trend, not as a makeover, but as a gentle whisper that stirs the life back into every strand. This isn't the choppy, edgy layer cut you see on 20-somethings in fashion magazines. No, this is something more refined, more intentional. A soft layering technique that's cut precisely where the hair falls, how it flows, and what it touches to help your hair breathe again. Because after 50, hair often grows thinner, drier, and less responsive to styling. And when you keep it all in one heavy layer, it can start to feel like a curtain one that pulls your whole face downward, making you look tired, disconnected, and unlike yourself. Soft layers release that weight. They bring air back between your strands. They invite movement again, like a breeze that catches your hair just as you turn your head. If you have straight hair, the layers will softly frame your face, especially around the cheekbones and jawline, bringing lightness and definition where it matters most. If your hair has a bit of a wave, the layers will enhance that natural texture. You won't need curling irons or rollers. Just a gentle run of your fingers and your hair will fall into place as if it's breathing with you. And if your hair is silver or gray, the layers will catch light in a way that's almost magical, creating subtle highlights and depth without a single drop of dye. Just your natural color made dimensional by the way the layers fall. What's even better? You don't need complicated tools or styling routines. No round brushes. No heat-heavy gadgets. Just let your hair dry naturally or give it a soft blow dry at the ends, and you'll notice volume, softness, and a vitality you thought had gone quiet. If you love long hair, but lately it started to feel heavy, dragging you down, soft layers are your elegant solution. You don't need to chop everything off. You don't need to change who you are. You just need to give your hair a little lift, and suddenly your face feels brighter, lighter, and more at peace. Many women say that after getting soft layers, they didn't just fall in love with their hair again. They felt something move inside. Their eyes lit up. Their mood shifted. They walked a little taller, as if their hair had gently stirred something that had been still for too long. And maybe that's what beauty really is. Not the kind that shouts, but the kind that reminds you you were never lost. Your softness never left. Your presence only needed a little space to flow again. So if you've been sitting still in a style that no longer reflects you, maybe this is your moment. The moment those quiet, soft layers begin to move, not just around your face, but within you. And as we close this journey through 6 haircuts, maybe what you've truly discovered isn't just a new style. It's a new way to see yourself under a different light. Not to look younger, not to follow what's hot, but to finally show up clearly, confidently as the woman you are now, gentle, experienced, and beautifully unapologetic. Choose a hairstyle that doesn't make you disappear, but helps you be seen. Not just by others, but by the woman in the mirror each morning. The one who's still radiant, still present, and never too late to begin again. And if there was even one moment in today's video where you thought, yes, that's me, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Because you deserve to be seen, and you deserve to be heard, and the beauty of a woman with passing years only grows. Audrey Hepburn. I'll see you in the next video where beauty never fades. It only deepens.